Okay, hello and welcome to today's session of Change Pioneers. We will today introduce you to our OD Education Garage that we start for the first time in 2023. And this is Tobias Reisbeck, and my colleague Bernd Zimmermann. We are founder and managing partners of Change Pioneers. So I'm companion for sustainable organizational development. Originally, I did my PhD in cognitive neurosciences, but then went over into consultancy, did a lot of business process re-engineering and project management, but then switched over since these are nice topics, but in the end, if anything goes wrong, it's about people. And this was for me the idea to get into organizational development, to focus on people, to enable them go through transformation, support transformations in such a way that in the end, we have an improved performance, we have better relationships, better collaboration within the organization. So this is my clear focus on the human factor. And plus, I'm a positive intelligence coach for mental fitness, and I'm deeply involved in sustainability and the connection between sustainability and the neurosciences. Yeah. No, what about you, Bernd?
Yeah, thank you, Tobias, and yeah, welcome also everybody from my side. Yeah, I'm passionate about developing myself, but also other people, teams, and organizations. I love what I do because I just like complexity and like to reduce complexity and find ways through complexity through the means of organizational development. And I can live my creativity in this profession. And I stumbled across organizational development initially, I would say, over 20 years ago through a conflict with my manager, and I realized that I sometimes have conflicts in professional life, maybe also in private life. And I said, okay, I want to learn more about this. And this was the start for me. I started with an education in nonviolent communication, in systemic coaching. I became a mediator, and so on and so on. So I kind of try to deeply study myself, psychology, but also how do people work together. And so I made in my second career my profession or my calling to my profession. And my last professional career station was with the Siemens Healthineers, where I was the global head of organizational development and innovation. And as Tobias said, now I'm also managing partners of Change Pioneers. And with that said, maybe who is Change Pioneers? You see it here on the slide. We are kind of an international ecosystem focusing on organizational development and also leadership development to make the world a better tomorrow, and to foster the inner glow in people, teams, and organizations. And through the means of organizational development and leadership development, we kind of help all these clients, or some clients, which you see also on this slide. And this is what we love, and that is why we are kind of organized in the ecosystem, because we bring together different experts in the different fields. And one big topic besides consulting or developing leaders of these companies is that we also have a Change Pioneers Academy, and the OD Education Garage is in the realm of this Change Pioneer Academy. And now over to you, Tobias. What is the OD Education Garage?
As you said, Bernd, it's really our passion to manifest the inner glow in people, teams, and organizations. And we have this vast amount of experience over the last years. And I think we can say we want to condense this and give something on to other people.
Yeah.
Also enable companies to thrive, not just survive like a lot of them do in the actual situation, but really to thrive and develop, facing the challenges that we have on our world, basically. So it's the task to develop really the knowledge how organizations develop, and therefore we want to give you practical skills to efficiently facilitate sustainable change in organizations. So the idea is really giving you functional knowledge about what you can do in the organization to foster change, to support transformations, to support people during those transformations, to really establish future fit organizations and high performing teams. So it's all about, in the end, for the organization, it's about performance, about efficiency, it's about collaboration and relationships, and it's also about well-being on a physical, on a mental side. And so the field of organizational development is really very widely spread out, and we will address this through different approaches, or meaning different sessions. So as you see on the right hand side, our topics, so the first would just be the holistic OD. So the idea is, what is OD now? What was it? How did it evolve? Where is it going to in the future? Because since our world is changing, also our organizational development is changing. So we have to keep track with this and have the right tools and answers to problems that there are. And therefore, also the second point is really important. It's about vision and mission. You know about purpose-led leadership, about purpose in organizations, about sense making, about servant leadership. So this is all about where are we going towards in the future. So what will be a sustainable future for us as a company? Will we be a circular economy company, or how do we make ourselves future fit and give us a purpose? And when we have this question answered, then the question is, so how do we design our organization for that? So depending on what the business model of the future will be, the cultural things that we have at hand, what do we have to develop, and how do we basically craft out our organization such that it works according to the vision and the mission statements. And if we have that, we also need change management to accompany people to go through this route. It doesn't help to have a vision and then say, well, we do box kicking and you'll be in this department, stuff like that. But people will resist to that. They will have they want to have clear connection to mission and vision. And this is about change management. How do you define this change? How do you initiate and accompany this process? And then you go to the next level, to the team level. How do you develop your teams to support this change, to support this transition? What new skills, what new capabilities are necessary at the basis to foster what we have as a vision? And with teams, leadership comes into play. So how do we want to have our leadership? Do we have a servant leadership? How do we have sustainable leadership? What are the basic principles? Are we going to be transactional or transformative? These are all questions that have to be answered in this context. And this is where we will learn how to support organizations or your organization on this route. And last but not least, it's the question about harvesting. So what will be your toolbox? What will be your new competencies to support these kind of changes and transformations? What is your professional passion here? So it's also about your vision and where are you going to, and how to stay mentally fit and foster relationships and your performance. So these would be the sessions and the topics that we will be addressing. And it's always kind of a mixture between, we have like the models, we have the neuroscience of the models, we relate this to each other. Then we have the topic of sustainability. And I think this is one of the most important USPs, that we really bring these challenges of our world together in a way where we have a combination of how we work as from our brain side, how we bring this in a sustainable world, and what are the methods and the tools behind that. And so we are also developing this further and providing you with brand new things that you can apply.
Yeah,
So,
thanks, Tobias. And now the challenge was how to bring this in a comprehensive education. Like Tobias said, it's really our passion and also the harvesting of our 20 plus years of experience. So the kind of very practical setup of the education, and please talk to us if you're interested with your company for in-house education, then we can also design this slightly different. But it will start and will be accompanied by a series of small webinars, small enough to fit in your busy schedules, but also relevant enough to bring all these knowledge that you need to know. For example, systemic thinking, your role as a leader or a HR person or a consultant in OD, what are the intervention styles, what's the neuroscience in OD, what is the multi-contingency impact model and of organizational development. So this is needed stuff that you need, and it gives you already a good base to then attend the virtual sessions. And the first virtual session is like a kickoff session, a get to know session, kind of bringing people together and giving an overview, but also already starting with the first session of this holistic overview of organizational development before it goes then into an offsite, 2.5 days offsite. We have two of those, which will be one will be in Germany. If we have participants also from the US or from the MENA region, we can also do this via our local hubs in the US or in Saudi. And then, so this kind of continues this mix of face-to-face sessions, virtual sessions, and these round marks you see are the peer groups. So a big way of learning with each other and from each other is also this idea of peer groups and or intervision groups. So you will also spend sometimes with four peers in one group to digest stuff that you heard, to take it further, to test out your own cases back at home and so on. So this is basically the overview. Overall, it's a 61 hours investment from your side, together maybe with some self-learning and reading and so on, which you want to do. And overall, it will be a duration of 9 months starting next year. And what you certainly can do either during the course or when you finish this education, you can dig deeper into some of our interesting seminars, like leading for sustainability or dealing with emotions in times of uncertainty, or you can even go deeper into the topics of org design, change management, and team development and become a master practitioner in this. And the price you also see on the upper right-hand side, we are offering here early bird discount until end of this year, 2022, for 3,437 euros.
Cool.
And yeah, we think it's cool, right? And we think it's a education for people who are maybe already a little bit in this field. So if you work in, for example, strategy, business development, HR, if you are an HRBP or you're in learning and development, and you already see, I need to know more about organizational development because it seems like I cannot cross some borders here. I'm not effective enough maybe in my work. Then this would be, I think, the ideal education. Similar if you're already a kind of a professional, if you, for example, already have a systemic coaching education, but now want to learn about the systemic of an organization, then this is also the place to be. And we're following what you see on the right-hand side, quite the holistic understanding of organizational development as proposed by the Professional Association of Developing Awesome Organizations. And on the left, you see the goals or what you will be able after you finish this education. You will understand the mechanisms of organization development, what works, what doesn't work, so to speak, what to look out for. You have really a good overview of the full spectrum. It's not just a change management education or not just a team development education, but you really can talk through all the things, and you can be able to point out either the right topics, for example, with your internal customers as an HRBP, or you can consult on the right questions and ask the right questions, and you can even, to a certain extent, be able to facilitate or propose some methods or some frameworks, and be able to select and manage external support if needed in that space. Clearly, it is not also, I mean, with 61 hours, it's not, you will not be the full-fledged facilitators, especially if you have little pre-education in these fields. You will not be the full-fledged facilitator of things and be able to facilitate a full change process from the beginning to the end. But again, you will have this good overview. You will be able to understand it, to steer it, and if you want to facilitate it really as a master, again, we have these master classes which you can attend afterwards. Yeah, with that, maybe Tobias, what is this? Why do we want to have it special? Why did we name it Garage?
Yeah, it's a garage, and it's this also kind of a summary. It's really impulses, it's effective models, as well as reflection and resting points. So it's not like you go through there, you make it a week, and then everything is done, because the transfer into to a daily life is really awful, I would say. But you have to try to elaborate on this, try it out and learn from this. And therefore you have the intervision groups. So it's really this mixture of, yeah, as I said, impulses and models, reflections, and also kind of this time to digest stuff. When you do these intervision meetings, or also face to face, it's really an inspiring space, yeah? Because what you need is dialogue. You need encounter as well to exchange your experiences, to exchange on how you address things. Also, it goes really deep, because it's a lot about the question who you are, and what kind of attitude are you going towards these changes. And this is something that we want to foster, especially social learning, and the mutual exchange. We said so because it's really these intervision groups. It has so much value. Also, out of my personal experience, I'm still in intervision groups, and it's always interesting to discuss on cases people bring in, and see kind of patterns over time, where we see, oh, this feels strange, and then you recognize why it is strange, and it has a factual level, and so you get really the experience, you get an intuition about it. And with these intervision groups, and also we bring them in, it will be real life case studies. So we work on cases, on your cases, definitely, and also some that we are bringing in, just to deepen your knowledge about everything you're doing there. So this is kind of a summary. It's really over a spread of time, also out of the neurobiological perspective. You reiterate all of these patterns and things that you have been learning, and in this way you deepen this, and this gets embedded in your brain. It's not like you do it once, we explain it to you, and a week later we say, no, why don't you do it this way now, but still do it the other way. So this is about the time frame, and the way this will sink into your brain and really be sustainable in this sense for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would summarize, it's a fun way to find your own way, and co-create maybe also a little bit the means in the future of OD, while learning from and with each other, and again also having a little bit this fun and this co-creational moment of things. Yeah, and so thank you for your time. If you have any more questions, if you want or need more materials, or if you want to sign in, please drop us an email or give us a call. We are happy to to be there, to also hear your way into OD, and what are your maybe pain points or resting points, and also if you or if your company is interested in in-house education or trainings, also give us a ring. Yeah, would be great to hear you, and thank you so far from our sides, and thank you especially for your time.
Yes, thank you also from my side. Reach out to us anytime you want. We are happy to hear from you. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye bye.